All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Trying to get back to doing my lives twice a week. So if you weren't there Monday morning, I'll let you know Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, I do a live, and usually Monday mornings are set aside for anything I'm stitching, whether it's sewing or crochet, stitching wise. And shortly I will be starting a cross stitch project, which I have not done cross stitch in years. So that ought to be fun. I do need to start doing more work in the yard before, the city ordinances pop up and say your grass is over 2 inches tall. And I'm not going to mow my lawn that much. And of course, we have to have a moment cat break here. Come on. Now go lay down and behave yourself for a while. But what I did is I went and I pulled out two of my old magazines. I got a Strawberry Moon, which Ann told me about Strawberry Moon, but I think somebody else had mentioned Strawberry Moon. But anyway, doesn't really matter. And I also have an old Somerset Studios. And then I have the lists of page numbers that we all gave Mary Sunday night. So what I thought we would do is do a couple mail art envelopes using magazine prompts. So what I need to know from you guys is, which magazine do you want me to utilize? Hi, Violet. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Keeks Hunt. Hi, Joyce. Do y'all want me to use Somerset Studios or Strawberry Moon? And if I start coughing, I'm sorry. I really think I've caught something in our travels. I'm having a horrendous time doing a video of the photos I took, because I've got some on my camera, on my phone, and then Scott's got some on his phone, and then I've got some on my big camera, and getting them all put together in the right order is doing my head in. So you might get what's on my phone, and that might be it. Of course, the ones on Scott's phone include a lot more pictures of me in them. So eventually I do need to get all of the pictures done. All right, so let me see, what are you guys saying? I see Somerset gets 1. Strawberry Moon has 1, 2, 3. So I got 2 to 3. So I guess we'll use Strawberry Moon. These are old copies. If you didn't know, most of these magazines, if you go visit the websites for the magazines, you can get old issues. This is the fall 2022 of Strawberry Moon. This is one of those books / magazines that has what I call a delicious cover. It's just got this comforting touch to it. I don't know. I find it comforting. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, I've got an old card envelope that I got at the thrift store, and it's got some wear on it or whatever, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because we're going to cover it. And then this is a 6x9, and this one's just a card envelope. But I thought we'd decorate both of them, and then I could do a giveaway. So we're going to do the prompts in the reverse order that Mary did hers. So the first page we're going to do is number 3. So if I go to page 3, 1, this is page 3. And what I pick up is the different colors of numbers, or I could choose one of these colors as a background. So let me show you the page. This is page 3 right here. Ignore this bit here. This is page 3. And what I want you to do is you pick what you'd like to do and just write it down. And then you can work on your page or whatever anytime you want to. Just write down your prompts. Or you could write down page 3 and let that be your prompt for whatever magazine you pull. Okay? So let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these numbers on the envelopes in the different colors. So let's see. I need a red, a pink, a yellow, a green, kind of an aqua. Let me just grab. Let's see. What do I have here? Let's grab this cup because it's got, what are these called? Papermate flare pens. So I need a red one, a pink one, a yellow one, green, aqua, and then kind of a gray I don't have. So I will use, what do I want to use? I'll just use purple, I guess. And I'm just going to write these numbers that are on this page. So I'm going to, on my prompt list, I'm going to say my prompt is add colorful numbers. That'll be the prompt. And I'll write my prompts in my description box later. So the red, I have 18s and 9s. So I am going to just go 18, 18, 9, 9, 9, 18, 9, 18, just randomly. 9, 18, 9, 18, 9, 18, 9. This is just the first prompt. All right, so I've got some of those. That's the red color. And then pink, we've got to do 40 and 17. 40, 17, 40, 17. Remember, it's all about layering. Some of this will never show. And I'm off a ways here. Sorry about that. So that was the pink one. And then in the yellow, we've got to do 50, 27, and 141. So I'll just do 50, 27, 141. 50, 27, 141. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but it'll look cool when we're done. 141. Because we don't know what the book is going to offer up. Uh-oh, here we go. Sorry. I'll get a sip. Thank you, Janet. Hi, Sharon. Oh. Janet sent me some beautiful dyed papers. I got them the other day. I just haven't been able to show them yet. So 80, 49, maybe 80. Yeah, I put 149 there. I know the mail people will be going, what on earth were they thinking putting these numbers everywhere? That was the green. And then in this, I need 142, 61, and 133. 142, 61, 133, 42, 61, 133. Did I do it on the back? No. 42, 61. I think I've got some blue numbers everywhere. And then the last color is the purple, and that is just 109. Something crashes, it's because Tippy's having a temper tantrum because I'm not paying attention to him, and he thinks I should be. You guys, the first 2 days we got back from our trip to Tennessee and back, these cats, especially the boys, they've been in our business, up in our faces. All right, so we've done the colorful numbers. So it doesn't look like much now. Thank you. All right, so the next page, if working up the list, says 11. So we'll go to page 11. 9, 10, 11. Oh, it's killing me. So I'm saying we need to add some pink bubbles. This is just talking about all the artists that are featured in this book. So I'm just going to focus on this right here, which to me looks like some paint or watercolor maybe, then with some splashes on it. So I need to do something with pink. I'll just put maybe pink bubbles. We'll make that. Maybe I'll just use some pink paint. Honey, you can't be up here right now. Come on, you can't be up here right now. Your sister's got that basket. Go on. I know you heard your name. Go on. Go on. I need my pink. Let's see here. I need to do some more canvases and get them mailed out. I've got a bunch of backgrounds. Let's use this Brer Reese paint. And I'll get a scraper and I'll just apply it with a scraper. And then I'll get a different pink and add splatters. Honey, you have food. Just go eat. You don't need me right now. No, you don't. Let me grab another pink while I'm thinking of it. No, behave. I'm looking for something different here. That's red. Let's use this one here. All right. This is a lighter pink. I'm just going to scrape, and then I'm going to get a fan brush. Tippy, move on. Honey, you got to find something else to do besides bother me right now. I have paint trays. It has been a while since I've played a game like this. Honey, I love you, but you're being kind of a pain in the neck. Stop it. If they could just see how bad you behave sometimes. Nettie thinks you're her baby. You're not a baby. You're naughty. Very naughty. Looking for the wax paper, it's hiding. Boy, that plane sounds low. All right, so I got my fan brush and some water, and I'll just mix a little of that with the other pink bubbles. So I'm going to splatter with that lighter yellow, pink. Hi, Heather. You're drawing in the background. Let's just leave the lid off. just going to move that so I can scoop this all up. And yes, I want to do the back of the envelope, but I figured that was the whole reason to work on 2 envelopes, is so I could spread on one and set the other aside to dry a little bit before I flip it over. See, now Tippy's in there digging at the water dish, and if he gets it going just right, it's one of those, as they drink, the water lets down. But if he gets it timed just right, he can get the water sloshing out of the dish, and he'll completely empty the water onto the floor. Because once he gets the water flop, flop, flopping off that water dish, it just unloads itself until it stops sloshing around. He's quite the little pain in the neck. I mean, lovely, sweet kitty cat, blah, blah, blah. All right. All right, we'll set that one aside to dry, and we'll bring this one back. We'll just do this back section, not the inner part of the envelope, but this part. And I've had this Brer Reese paint since we were in Greenville. So it's been over, 6 years since we've been back down here. Can y'all believe that much time has passed already since we were living between 2 houses? I do not miss that. Anybody that has more than one house, more power to you. It's just not for me. I don't want the upkeep of that many houses. Thank you. All right, I'm going to stand that up against y'all. Probably will create a shadow, but it'll be all right. Now I'm just going to spread some paint on here. This is using up a good bit of paint. Have not seen Lisa McGuire or Tanya in a while. Either they're coming on or I'm missing them. I think Tanya is traveling right now, though. And I think Lisa has a new grandbaby. Hope that's all going well for her daughter. At least that's what I've heard through the grapevine. All right, so I'll spread this out on my drop paper. And put the lid on this one. I'll end up with a mess on the table again, but it'll be all right. We'll set that one upright a little bit to dry. I'm just going to take my wax paper and liquefy it out to make some pink bubbles of sorts here. So put a little of that out there. I'll add some water, make it all splashable. All right. We'll just so you make your bubbles any way you want to. Right. Probably need to get the heat gun plugged in. And we'll dry this. Hi, Ann. Loved your page, Ann. It was great. Let's see if I can pull this out where I can plug this in. All right. I'm going to dry it a little bit. So heat gun alert. So prompt 1 was add just random colorful numbers. You can put them any colors, any numbers, any colors you want. I just used the page numbers that they had listed on my page that I was going by. Callie's looking at me like, you better keep that thing away from me. I'm not going to blow you, baby. I'm not going to blow hot air on you. I wouldn't be mean. I'm not going to be mean. It'll be interesting how this works out. I was glad to see the last 2 canvases made it to their destinations. I'm just going to flip these over and splatter this other side with the lighter pink. And then we will see what our next prompt is. The look that they have on the page is really more watercolory, and I could have used watercolors. I just thought I'd use these instead. These kind of still look like bubbles. Planes are taking off really low today because the cloud cover is so bad. So sorry about any plane noise you might hear. All right, that looks all right. So there's my 2 envelopes so far. So now we're going to need to go, it says, to page 6. So let's get our strawberry moon back over here. And we'll go back some pages. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay. So let me let you guys look at the page. So if you don't want to do what I'm doing, you can just do what's in the background. I kind of like the dots. And I like these marks that they've put another mark around them. I think I have a fat pen that would do that. And I also like this that looks like fried eggs. And then they've got a bunch of circles on this that you could use, different pens and things. There's a little kind of note here that's a layered note with brown paper, a torn piece of paper, and then some vellum with a note written on it. Something else you could pull from. It looks like they stitched on this a little bit, which I can't do really with the envelopes. And then they've got a butterfly here that looks like they pulled it from something and glued it down and then drew around it. So you choose what you would like to do. I kind of like the circles that they have on here. So I'm going to do some circles and then go around the circles with something else. So I'm going to just call it circles in circles. Circles in circles. In whichever colors that you want to do on your piece. This little note was in there. So I think what I'll do is I will get I'm going to start with white paint. And if some of my pink gets mixed in with it, that's okay too. Maybe actually pull some of that pink and mix it in. So this has a tinge of pink to it. And we'll just make some circles in a group of 3 maybe. Oh, this is one of those cheaper brushes. Its hairs are coming out. I want an uneven number. All right. Dry those a little bit, and then flip it over and add some to the other side. And we'll just flip these over. Yeah. I'm just making a mess right now. Scott's getting leftovers tonight. There's only so many days I can cook in a row before we run out of room in the refrigerator for leftovers. Because it's not just me that cooks here. My son enjoys cooking as well. So we end up with a lot of leftovers. Because he never, well, I don't know. He usually shares his food with his friends and his girlfriend. He's not always too keen about sharing with mom and dad. So that's why we end up with double the things here. So I'll show you what I was looking at on this page that really kind of caught my eye. Are the circles. It looks like they have a white background base there, and then they put some purple in the middle and then a little yellow around the outside, and then it looks like they went around the purple maybe with a Posca pen to bring the purple outline the purple basically, and then it looks like they took white gel pen over the yellow. So I need some purple and yellow now. Purple and yellow. Yellow was easy to find. And purple, I'll just use whatever color pops up. And I want a smaller brush, 2 smaller brushes. So I'm going to do the purple marks first. The pink was from page 11 in my book from this border. And I just said pink bubbles. So we got colorful numbers, then pink bubbles, and now we're doing circles in circles. Actually, the purple's more of a dot in the middle of a circle, but you know, I have a fan on, so if that noise is too loud, you have to let, oh dear. This is what happens when you don't use your supplies. Look at that. Ugh. I think that one can hit the trash land. Be right back. Damn you, ants. The counter is spotless. After dinner tonight, I think I'm going to get the bleach out and just wipe my entire counter down with bleach. I'm so fed up with these ants. I had them so they were knocked back. But then when we were gone on vacation, Greg is not the best at keeping everything spotless and clean. Like, I keep the kitchen pretty cleaned up. And he'll leave dirty dishes for a day or two. All right, this will be my purple brush here. And I'm just going to put a little globby glob of this pinky purple in the middle of each one. So I'm going to send these two off. What time does Yolande come on? So I can keep track of my time. You can't even hear the fan. Okay. That's good to know. We should come on at 2:30 or 3. Everybody's so quiet today. Either that or you guys are playing along. Either way is fine. All right. I'm going to dry this a little bit. And I should have pulled out one of my little canvases to use my excessive paint on it. This is starting to feel very much like, what is that, Good and Plenty? Callie doesn't like the heat gun. She keeps looking at me funny. It's okay, honey. I'm not going to spray you with the hot air. I'm not going to put it on you. You're okay. Mom, it's not mean like that. I'm going to flip these over. We'll add some purple to these dots. This is really just mark making here. If you didn't want to do dots, you could have done heart shapes. Or leaves. But they showed dots on the page, so that's what I'm doing. All right. Now I'm going to get some of this yellow. This is yellow ochre. And we'll go a little bit around the outside of each of my circles on this side, and then I'll flip back to the other side. So got out way too much yellow ochre. I just chose one thing. If you wanted to choose more than one out of the things that were in that little picture, you could. I mean, there's no saying you can't go even more crazy. When we were going out to Tennessee, we went by um, the little house where we used to stay in Greenville, thinking maybe Scott's sister would be up there. And we got there and nobody was around. So we just assumed that she wasn't. She said, "Yeah, I was up there." I said, "Well, we didn't see your car." So we got our mail. Yes, we still get mail up there out of the mailbox, and went on our way. We found out the gentleman that lived in the bigger house next door passed away, and that house is sold to somebody new. And my sister-in-law was like, "If I'd known, I would have bought it." She likes to buy property. She has a lot of it. Hi, April. Joyce is here. So yeah, well, let's see. We went to Greenville, South Carolina, through the Dalton, Georgia area, up into Tennessee to Cleveland. We stayed overnight in Cleveland, went into Chattanooga, went to Ruby Falls, and had lunch at Massey's store or restaurant, which was very good. They have a delicious chopped salad. And then we went to the Tow Truck Museum in Chattanooga, which was a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. And I've already said all this in another video, but that's okay. Somebody might not have been there when I was yammering on. I do have pictures and video segments that I'd love to put into a video, but I so suck at editing really badly. So I don't know if they'll ever get made into a video at this rate. I want to. That's too much like office work, and I don't like office work that much. I want to actually be using my hands, not just my fingers, sitting at a desk on the laptop. It's just not very appealing. I'd rather be making a mess with paint. What I might do is go on to the next prompt and give this time to really get dry. You were born in Cleveland? Cool. Yeah, we stayed at a Marriott something. They just remodeled, and the staff was really wonderful, but our room really sucked. It was right on I-75, and we heard semi trucks gearing down all night long. You just start getting drifted off to sleep, and you'd hear go 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 go, and it was like, this is horrible. So the second night, and the only other night, we stayed in a motel because we came home on the third day. Scott's good for about 3 days, and I've discovered I'm good for about 3 days. So there won't be any long trips on cruises or long road trips. But anyway, the second night we slept much better. We looked for a motel that was kind of away from the interstates. And let's see, we stayed in, I think it was in Greenville, Tennessee, that we stayed the second night because we got up and did some things and then came home. I think that was in Greenville. I'd have to look at the receipts. So there's my circles in circles. And I'll show you again. That was what I was aiming to copy right there. I also like these little marks here with the green outline, but there's so much more that you could pull from. And then the fried egg pieces look cool. The red circles look cool too. And then it's like it's divided into different color segments. So you could have added blocks of color around on your pieces. And then they added like stripes on that one, dots on that one, little squiggly marks. It's a very interesting background. Just that alone. If you just copied that alone, it would look really cool. All right, working back up the list. Well, now we need to go to page 18. 18. All right, I'm going to let you guys look at page 18. We had a blast in Greenville, absolute blast. We went to Peggy Ann's Bakery. The museum there was absolutely free. The car museum next door, which was much smaller, was $10 each. But Scott, I wasn't interested in that, so I let Scott go in there. It's like in an old gas station, but the regular museum was very interesting. Yeah, but we went to an Italian restaurant there. It was absolutely disgustingly horrible, and we would never go there again. But anyway, I love so much on these 2 pages here. So it looks like they have a section that's just splattered away with some white areas added and then some circles. A repeated word. They chose Y. You could do squiggly circles. We could do the squiggly circles around our dots. Just expand them out with maybe a Bic pen and just add some scribblies. And they actually have Y written in the squiggles. I like the squares here that they have, but there's so much there to choose from. I think I'm going to do I'm going to call them scribbly circles, where you just go around really fast, the circles, and just add that around the circles I have on here. So that's what I'm going to put down that I'm doing for this prompt is squiggle circles, or what would you call them? Scribble circles? I don't know. I'm going to say scribble circles. I'll come back with black Posca and go around the purple later. I have some big pens somewhere. Oh, this is a bit here. I don't know what happened to all my Cristal pens. Is that one right there? Well, it works. Sophia's here. Hello, Sophia. So we're just going to do like this. And it's round and round and round and round and round and round and round, round and round. And I went through the paint. Bernadette looks like she would like to come in. I don't think I dried the yellow on here. Let me dry those a little bit. We may end up having to use some new glue on this envelope because the adhesive is exposed on it. Put some scribbly circles around these. Whoops. in Chattanooga, we went and saw Ruby Falls, which was beautiful. And I didn't realize Scott wasn't too keen on being underground, especially when the girls start. So we are currently standing in the section that floods now from now and then. And I looked at Scott and he was like, she did not need to tell us about that. And I'm going to add some of my squiggly marks like this. We actually went and we just talked with a realtor in Greenville. Scott just wanted to find out what the housing was like there. All right. So I did my scribbly circles as good as it's going to get. I'm wondering if I could go around the purple with a black Posca so I don't forget. Let's see. I'm not real sure which tip these are going to be. Okay, this is fine. So I could go around the outer edge of this. Try to stay out of the yellow because it's definitely not dry. But while we were in Tennessee, we only went the last day we got on I-26 to come home from Greenville. And then the rest of the trip, let's see, I know we were on 11 for a while, a short distance on I-75. That's all we could cope with. That road is plumb crazy, y'all out there. Anybody out there in Tennessee, that I-75, that's nuts land. That was crazy. It's like our I-77 here. All right, heat gun alert. Now it looks like I have some ill eggs on my page. Not page, these are envelopes. I may have to use a white piece of paper to put the address on. Well, I can do that. Turn this over. Turn this one over. And I'll just go around. It is pretty out there, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I fit very well. Just got to find a place that feels like home to you. I think it's a beautiful place to visit, but I don't know that I want to live there. Right. There we go. So that was our fourth prompt. We're supposed to do 10 of these. All right. The next page on the list, working from the bottom up of the numbers we gave Mary, is 32. So 32. And I don't know if I have, let me double check. Yeah, I have enough pages because somebody picked 144. Page 32. Oh my. We have a lot here. A lot of color. A lot of color. So we could add a butterfly. They've got some words on there. This one seems to have a lot of scribbly bits on it. So yeah, I don't know if I want to do any more scribbles. I might just stick a butterfly on it. Put a butterfly on it. So let me see if I can find some butterflies. I just didn't feel like I'd fit in Tennessee as a full-time living situation. Let's see, butterflies. Butterflies. I need some butterflies. Let's see. I think, Becky, you've got butterflies somewhere. Let's just see. Any other time, I'd have butterflies. Maybe in the yellow bag, there would be butterflies. Some butterflies. Maybe just put one of these on each one of it. I'm trying not to make this take us all day because I want to be off in time for Yolanda to come on. So I'm going to flip this over and see if we can. These are big butterflies. They're too big, aren't they? Let me pull that yellow back out and see what's in there. Yellow. I'm just going to dump this out and see if we've got any others that are a little bit smaller. I don't really want to use layered ones. What's this? That's a bumblebee. I guess I could use a different bug on here. I kept that. It just spoke to me. I don't know why. These are dimensional. I don't want those. Look, butterflies. They may be moths, but I won't tell if you guys don't. Oh, there's a dragon. It's looking like rain's coming in again. Oh, I love the little birds. Got getting distracted by other things, Becky. Use what you have here. I need to go get Bernadette. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. The sky's looking like it's about to fall out, and I don't want her out in it. If I get her attention. Careful. What are you, blind? Says the woman to the blind dog. Anyway. Say, that was mean, Becky, calling the dog like she's dumb and she's just blind. She literally is blind. Let's see. She was right at the back door. She's like, Mom, I need in. We might just glue these on and say good enough because I'm not seeing any other butterflies. So we're just going to randomly stick these on here. And I'll put some on the front and the back. So I've got a total of, I've got 3 for one and 2 for the other. And I will probably add additional glue because I don't want them to fall off. The stickum doesn't feel like it's very sticky. No, this is gummed up. Oh man. Now I've lost that little red thing. Where did it go? The cats will find it if I don't. Of course it fell all the way back there. I got a postcard today from Ollie's, and sometimes they get this Elmer's glue in. Yeah, it poured here a good bit of yesterday as well, and I was supposed to do laundry today, and I haven't got to it yet, but I paid the bills and did the laundry. So there's that. So I'm going to stick this one here. I don't know that these are really butterflies or not. And I'll put one on the back. Bernadette's trying to see if she can find anything on the floor, and she doesn't know. I've already swept and mopped out there, so she's probably not going to find anything. Scott was intrigued. We saw a bunch of guys fly fishing in these creeks coming down the mountain. I don't know what that road was we were on, but it was interesting to see fellas fly fishing in the mountain creeks. Bernadette, honey, come here. And that uses up those butterflies. One less thing in the stash. I got to thinking how sad it is. Joann's is closing. And then I walked in the back room and I'm like, you know, I've got like a 5-year supply of fabric and yarn. I could probably never leave the house and still make things for 5 to 6 years, or maybe longer. Now, it could be less than that if I do like I did at the beginning of the year and just bust through projects. But, you know, I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon. All right. So I didn't write that down. I'm going to say I added butterflies. Hi, Bernie. Hi, Bernie. Oh, that'll be great, Joyce. That'll be great. Yeah, the rain, I was noticing when I was out earlier, the right of way out the extension is full of the area that floods when the river's full is full of water. So I know we need a little break, but the clouds are looking really heavy. All right, so now going back up the list, we need page 61. Page 61. Looks like a red border. That's all I can see on this page, unless you want to put text or a red border. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. So I'll get some red paint and just put a red border on the front and the back of my pieces. If I close this envelope, Bernie, honey, come here. I know it's always exciting when you get a new space set up and ready to go. I guess I could use Posca pens, but I like the idea of painting a red border on here. Red. Santa red, baby. Bernie? Come on, honey. Back up here. I know you haven't gotten used to this floor, have you? Come on. You need to stay out here, then you don't get yourself in trouble. Go on. You slip it off, and then you get yourself in trouble. Calm down. Crazy girl. All right, now I'm just going to use one of these other brushes here. I don't really care for that one too much. And I'll just put a quickly painted red border on here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Uh-oh, I stepped in the purple too. There we go. I'm just going over the butterfly. It'll be all right. All right, I will hit this with the heat gun really quick. I need to remember to write this down on my paper. They won't lose these envelopes, guaranteed. I'll have to put a handmade card in and then some goodies in each of these. All right. Baby, come here. The mat's over here and you could lay down. Bernadette. Come here, baby. Stand that up to dry real quick. Did I tell you guys about the tall girl in the caverns with us? Her man wasn't watching out for her. She smacked the daylights out of her head on the cavern. Some of those areas got really, really low. All right, so those are our red borders Kind of like how my drop paper's getting decorated so far. All right, we did the red borders. Now it's telling us to go to page 33. So let me go to page 33. First, I got to get Bernadette back in here. Bernie. Come on, baby. No. Come on. You're being too much of a distraction. You want cookie? You want cookie? Oh, come on. I'll give you a cookie. Get in your room and I'll give you a cookie. Go on. Go on. Get in your room and I'll give you a cookie. Just for a little while. And then I'll feed you your dinner and then you go out potty, come back in if it's not raining. Okay? Take care of the old lady now. Page 33. Whoops, past 20. 33. Oh, it's got a quirky girl with a bug on her head. This is page 33. So what would you choose out of these pictures right here? More butterflies? It looks like they used some scraps of paper. I could glue scraps of paper on my envelope. Get some red and orange painty papers out. I like this color wheel. It looks like it was made with painty papers. But I really like the idea of just putting some pieces of painty paper in my colors on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Scraps of painty paper will be my next thing. Scraps of painty paper. All right, I will glue those on. Let me get my scrap bin. Painty paper scraps. This is the one that's got the little pieces of scraps in it. I don't know if well, there's some green in the butterflies. Let me see if I've got some more that's kind of. I think a lot of these were from the cat pictures I have recently done. I'd really like more yellow. Yellowish and red things. And I might get my glue brush from by the sink and some matte medium to stick these down with. And I'm going to tear them. So, matte medium. Let me get my glue brush. All right, let's see what we've got going here. I'm going to have paint on me if I don't watch out. Let's tear this down the middle. I don't really like that one for this project. That way. right. I think I'm going to make a puddle of matte medium on this piece of wax paper. I know, I'm supposed to wipe that off. Oh, got some color moving. I haven't done mail art in a while. I usually just paint them. This could be fun though. I ought to mail one of these to Journey. See how she's doing. Use your scraps. Use your scraps. Scraps is where it's at. All right, let me dry this a little bit and then I'll flip them over. Hi, Lynn. We got 1, 2, just 3 prompts left. And I can always go back and add more or, you know, repeat a prompt to fill in places. Right, so now we got to put some of this painty paper on here. Might need more of this stuff. Hopefully some won't get pulled off, but you never know. You never know. It's hard to tell which way's up here. Forgot how small an area envelope actually is. Lynn in Journal says she's hosting an art journal hashtag for June next month, y'all. So if you like crafting and art journaling, please check me out. All right, we can do that. I would put a link in if I wasn't covered in glue to your channel, because I don't think I'm subbed to you. I will have to go check it out. I don't do a lot of art journaling. I should do more. I need some more. And she says she's put up a new video today. Cool. Well, I go live on Wednesdays after Ann Lar I go 1:30, she's 12:30. And then after me, oh goodness, in just a few minutes is Devin Rex Yolande, who does a lot of really cool gel plate printing. Let's see, I might have to just give you guys the last few prompts so that I'm not going over into Yolande's time. Oh man, I haven't even put any on this other page. It'll be all right. I'm trying to hurry, and that doesn't mix well for a finished project, is hurrying. I got to remember, I've got to be able to put the postage on here too. Uh-oh, I don't think I put any goop there. Goop. I had to, at one of our stops, I was waiting on Scott to finish in the restroom because we were at a back roads convenience store. So I had to take a video of the shelf with all the packaged dill pickles, great big fat dill pickles. You know, they used to sell at the movie theaters, and you can get them now. And they had like a spicy one and a juicy one, and because Safia thinks it's hilarious that we have pickles in a tube kind of thing. You just never know what you'll find at a convenience store or petrol station, as you all call them. We did pass the sign that said Buc-ee's. And I said, do you want to stop? Scott's like, not really. So we didn't get to stop at the world famous Buc-ee's, but maybe next time. All right. I'm going to stop with that one because I got 10 minutes to do the last 3 prompts. Page 144 has eyeballs. So there you go. That's what's on page 144. They even got some creepy faces on that one. Do I want to put creepy eyeballs on mine? Maybe I'll pick something else out. I don't know if I want to do creepy eyeballs or creepy faces. I kind of like these blue lines within this circle. I'm wondering if I could add some blue lines or maybe just doodle some lines on here. All of this is going to have to dry before I can do that. I'm going to add some blue. I'm just going to put blue lines. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I kind of like how they divided this section up into different sections and then made the lines go in different directions. So I might do that on a portion of my envelopes. Oh, and I wanted to give an envelope away. I tell you what, if you want a chance to win one of these envelopes, because it's going to take me time to, finish them up, leave a comment in the comment section after the video's off. How's that? So blue lines was the next one. And then I'm just going to give you the last two so I can be off in time for Yolande to come on. So page 120 has the only thing I see on the whole page is a strawberry. So add a strawberry. This is one messed up thing. Add a strawberry. This is what happens when you do prompts. You just never know. And then on page 40, please give us something. 40. 40. Ooh. This is 40 here. And it's got owls, and it's got squares and blue, and there's some black and blue lines with kind of red squares. I see a feather. You could add a feather, or we could stamp a quote. So I'm going to stamp a quote on mine. I'm going to say stamp a quote. So I've got to add some strawberries on my already very red page. I could get a different color of red out. Let me grab a different red here. And I'll just make some strawberry shapes. And then I can come back in and add black dots and stuff. So I will put these prompts in my description box. And then you guys can play with them as you will. And I'll put the page numbers next to the prompts. So they won't be numbered 1 through 10. They'll have the page numbers. So that if you have your own magazine and you would rather utilize a magazine you have, then you'll have the page numbers to go to. Does that make sense at all? Let's see if I can just plop some strawberries on here. Strawberry shapes. They're kind of like that. Oh, honey, I've got paint. And I'll put a strawberry here. I bought a watermelon, a seedless watermelon today. Let's see. And maybe we'll have a strawberry here. And then with my Posca, I can add the leaves and the black dots to make them really look like strawberries once these are good and dry, because you don't want to ruin your Posca pens, do you? And so what I'll do is in a couple days, I'll pull the comments from this video and I'll do random comment picker. If you would like to win one of these. And maybe you should probably add something like, put strawberry in your comment. That way I will know you really want to get it. Get one of these. And I will fill them up with goodies. And Yolande should be on here. We'll put a little guy over here. And I'm going to have to set these up on something to try out. So I'll have to add my blue line section. And I've added my strawberries, but I'll need to frou-frou them up. And what's the other thing? Oh, stamp a quote. I might stamp several quotes because I got some good quote stamps. And you can just utilize them any old way you want to. Let's put a strawberry over here too. Because it is strawberry season. I noticed that the farms have their signs up for you pick. You pick strawberries. Walk away with a pink mouth. Because you know everybody eats as much as they pick. It's a wonder they don't weigh us when you go in to pick. You know, it's a wonder they don't weigh the people. Oh, you're so many pounds heavier. You must have ate, 6 pounds of strawberries while you were here. All right. So I will do the stamp a quote, and I'll finish my strawberries out, and I'll do the blue lines once the paint is done. And I want to thank you guys for playing along. In my actual comments, after I sign off from here, come back and leave a comment on this video and put strawberry in your comment, and then I can just tell the random picker to only choose from the people that put strawberry in their comment. That way I'll know it's going to somebody that would really like one. And again, I will include goodies and a handmade card. All right. Thank you, guys. So been a little bit different than we normally do, but I thought it was fun. Take care.